Are you ready to become a certified Blue Prism developer and master the world of robotic process automation? In this video, we will cover Blue Prism Developer Certification exam questions and answers, ASDEV01 prep. Prepare for your Blue Prism Developer Certification with these actual exam-style questions. In this video, we dive deep into 30 comprehensive practice questions designed to mirror the actual Blue Prism Developer Certification exam. We cover everything from Process and Object Studio to error handling and work queues. Subscribe for more RPA certification content and let's get started. Which of the following stages is used to create a loop in a Blue Prism process? Option A, loop start and loop end. Option B, action stage. Option C, anchor stage. Option D, choice stage. The correct answer is A. In Blue Prism Process Studio, looping is specifically handled by a pair of stages, loop start and loop end. These stages are used in conjunction with a collection. The loop start stage identifies the collection to be iterated over, and the process will cycle through every row in that collection until it reaches the loop end stage, after the last row has been processed. This is a fundamental concept for handling multiple items or data rows within a single process. Execution. In Object Studio, which mode is used to capture the attributes of a user interface element? Option A, design mode. Option B, spying mode. Option C, capture mode. Option D, inspector mode. The correct answer is B. Spying is the process of identifying and capturing the attributes of elements in a target application, like buttons, text boxes, or menus. In Object Studio, you enter spying mode via the application modeler. Blue Prism provides several spying modes depending on the technology of the application, such as Win32, HTML, for web, active accessibility, and UI automation. Once an element is spied, its attributes are stored in the application modeler for use in stages like read, write, or navigate. What happens if an exception is thrown in a subpage and there is no recover stage on that subpage? Option A, the process terminates immediately. Option B, the exception bubbles up to the calling page. Option C, the exception is ignored. Option D, the process retries the subpage automatically. The correct answer is B. In Blue Prism, exceptions follow a bubbling hierarchy. If an exception occurs on a subpage, or an action in an object, and there is no recover stage present to catch it on that specific page, the exception bubbles up to the parent page that called the subpage. This continues until a recover stage is encountered. If no recover stage is found at any level, including the main page, the process will terminate with an unhandled exception error. This mechanism allows for centralized error handling. What is the primary purpose of the Get Next Item action in a work queue? Option A, to delete an item from the queue. Option B, to retrieve the next pending item and lock it for processing. Option C, to move an item to the completed status. Option D, to add a new item to the queue. The correct answer is B. The Get Next Item action is used within a process to fetch the next available item from a specific work queue that is in a pending state. When an item is retrieved using this action, Blue Prism automatically locks the item to the specific resource. Robot performing the action This prevents other robots from picking up the same item simultaneously, ensuring thread safety and preventing duplicate processing. The action returns the item's data and a unique item ID. Which stage is used to direct the flow of a process based on a true-false condition? Option A, choice stage. Option B, decision stage. Option C, switch stage. Option D, action stage. The correct answer is B. The decision stage is the basic conditional tool in Blue Prism. It evaluates an expression that must result in a Boolean value, true or false. Based on this result, the process flow follows either the yes path or the no path. Unlike the choice stage, which can have multiple paths based on various criteria, the decision stage is strictly binary, making it ideal for simple checks like, is the file present? Or, is the balance greater than 0? Single quote. Which stage in Object Studio is used to send data to an application element? Option A, read stage. Option B, navigate stage. Option C, write stage. Option D, wait stage. The correct answer is C. The write stage is specifically designed to input data into an application. Once you have spied an element, like a text field, using the application modeler, you use the write stage to map a data item or a calculation result to that element. For example, typing a username into a login screen is accomplished via a write stage. The read stage is used for the opposite, retrieving data, and the navigate stage is used for actions like clicking or opening, closing applications. What is the function of the resume stage in an exception handling flow? Option A, it rethrows the exception to the parent page. Option B, it marks the exception as resolved and allows the process to continue from the next stage. Option C, it restarts the entire process from the beginning. Option D, it pauses the process for manual intervention. The correct answer is B. The resume stage is the exit point of a recovery logic flow. After a recover stage catches an exception, the process enters recovery mode. During this mode, only certain stages can be executed. To exit recovery mode and return the process to a normal running state, a resume stage must be used. Once the process hits the resume stage, the exception is considered, handled, and the flow continues to the stage connected to the resume. Stages output. In Blue Prism, what is a collection? Option A, a single piece of data like a number or string. Option B, a group of stages organized into a subpage. Option C, a table-like structure containing multiple rows and columns of data. Option D, a configuration file for the Blue Prism environment. The correct answer is C. A collection is a complex data type in Blue Prism that functions like a table or a spreadsheet. It consists of defined fields, columns, and can hold multiple records, rows. Collections are essential for batch processing, where you might need to process a list of invoices or customer records. They can be populated from work queues, Excel files, databases, or manually within the process. Which attribute is often considered unreliable and should be unchecked in the application? Modeler to ensure robust automation? Option A, window text. Option B, visible. Option C, screen bounds, coordinates. Option D, class name. The correct answer is C. Screen coordinates, like X and Y positions, are generally considered unreliable attributes because they can change based on screen resolution, window size, or the position of the application on the screen. Relying on coordinates makes an automation fragile. Instead, Blue Prism developers should prioritize static and unique attributes like ID, name, or class name, which remain consistent regardless of where the window is placed on the desktop. According to Blue Prism best practices, where should the business logic be primarily located? Option A. In Object Studio. Option B. In Process Studio. Option C. In the Application Modeler. Option D. In the System Manager. The correct answer is B. Blue Prism design philosophy dictates a strict separation between application interaction and business logic. Business logic, decisions, calculations, and process flow should reside in Process Studio. Object Studio should be kept thin and only contain the logic necessary to interact with the target application, e.g., clicking a button, reading a label. This makes the objects reusable across different processes that might use the same application but follow different business rules. What is the result of using the mark completed action in a work queue? Option A. The item is deleted from the database. Option B. The item's status is updated to completed, and the lock is released. Option C. The item is moved to the top of the queue. Option D. The item is sent to the exception folder. The correct answer is B. When a process successfully finishes processing a queue item, it must call the mark completed action. This action updates the item's record in the Blue Prism database to reflect that it no longer needs processing. Importantly, it also releases the lock on that item, allowing the resource to move on to the next item. Completed items remain in the queue history for reporting and auditing purposes unless they are specifically archived or deleted by an admin. What is the purpose of a wait stage in Object Studio? Option A. To pause the process for a fixed number of seconds. Option B. To wait for a specific condition in the application to be met before proceeding. Option C. To allow the user to manually intervene. Option D. To stop the process if an error occurs. The correct answer is B. A wait stage is a best practice tool used to make automations resilient. It allows the robot to wait for an application to respond, e.g., waiting for a login window to appear or a processing spinner to disappear. Unlike a sleep or fixed delay, a wait stage is dynamic. It will proceed as soon as the condition is met, up to a specified timeout. This ensures the robot doesn't try to click a button that hasn't loaded yet, reducing application error exceptions. Which stage is used to manually trigger an error within a process flow? Option A. Recover stage. Option B. Resume stage. Option C. Exception stage. Option D. Decision stage. The correct answer is C. The exception stage is used by developers to intentionally throw an exception. This is common when a business rule is violated, e.g., insufficient funds, or when a system state is unexpected. By using an exception stage, the developer can provide a custom exception type, like business exception, and a detailed exception detail message, which helps in debugging and reporting. What is the scope of a data item if the visibility checkbox is unchecked? Option A. Global. Available to all processes. Option B. Local. Available only to the page it is on. Option C. Session-based. Option D. Read-only. The correct answer is B. By default, data items in Blue Prism are local to the page on which they are created. This means other pages in the same process cannot see or modify them. If you want a data item to be accessible across all pages within a process or object, you must check the Global Visibility box on the main page, in Processes, or ensure it is set correctly in Object Studio. Local scope is generally preferred to prevent accidental data corruption from other parts of the process. Which Blue Prism component is used to start, stop, and monitor processes in a production environment? Option A. Object Studio. Option B. System Manager. Option C. Control Room. Option D. Process Studio. The correct answer is C. The control room is the operational hub of Blue Prism. It allows administrators and operations teams to drag and drop processes onto available resources. Runtime resources, robots. Start or stop those processes. Monitor their progress in real time. And view the status of work queues. It is the primary interface for managing live production workloads. What is an environment variable in Blue Prism? Option A. A variable that changes based on the computer's RAM. Option B. A global constant defined in the system manager that can be accessed by all processes. Option C. A variable used only in the development environment. Option D. A data item that stores the robot's name. The correct answer is B. Environment variables are data values managed within the System tab of Blue Prism. Unlike standard data items, they are not tied to a specific process. Instead, they are available to all processes running in that environment. They are typically used for values that might change between environments. Dev, test, prod, such as URL links, file paths, or email addresses, allowing the process code to remain unchanged while the configuration adjusts. When using the Navigate stage to attach to a running application, what is required? Option A. The application must be closed. Option B. The application modeler must have the correct executable path. Option C. The child index or window title must match the running instance. Option D. A wait stage must be used before the Navigate stage. The correct answer is C. To attach to an already open application, Blue Prism needs a way to identify the specific instance. This is configured in the application modeler using the Attach settings. The developer must provide enough information, like the process name or a unique window title, so that when the Attach action is called in a Navigate stage, Blue Prism can hook into the correct process ID. This is common when one process opens an app and another needs to take over. What happens to a work queue item if the process crashes while the item is locked? Option A. The item is automatically completed. Option B. The item remains locked and becomes an exception after a timeout or manual intervention. Option C. The item is deleted. Option D. The item is released back to pending immediately. The correct answer is B. If a resource, robot, crashes or the process is killed while it holds a lock on a work queue item. The item stays in a locked state. Since the robot that held the lock is no longer active, the item cannot be processed by others. This is known as a zombied item. Administrators usually need to manually unlock these items or mark them as exceptions in the control room after verifying the failure. Which of the following is true regarding collections and loops? Option A. A loop must always iterate through a collection. Option B. A loop can only run a maximum of 10 times. Option C. A collection can only have one column. Option D. Loops are not allowed in Object Studio. The correct answer is A. In Blue Prism, the loop start stage requires a collection to be specified in its properties. The loop's purpose is to iterate through each row of that specific collection. Without a collection, the loop start stage cannot function. While you can simulate other types of loops using decisions and anchors, the formal loop stages are strictly tied to collections. Why is it important to use wait stages instead of fixed sleep times? Option A. Sleep stages are not available in Blue Prism. Option B. Wait stages make the process faster by proceeding as soon as the element is ready. Option C. Wait stages consume less memory. Option D. Wait stages are only used for web applications. The correct answer is B. Wait stages provide dynamic synchronization. If you set a 10-second sleep, the robot will always wait 10 seconds, even if the app loads in 1 second, wasting time, or 11 seconds, causing an error. A wait stage with a 20-second timeout will proceed immediately at 1 second if the app is ready, making the process as fast as possible while remaining robust against slow response times. How do you pass data from a process to an object? Option A. By using environment variables only. Option B. By defining inputs in the object's action page and passing values via the action stage in the process. Option C. By dragging the data item from Process Studio to Object Studio. Option D. Data cannot be passed to objects. The correct answer is B. To pass data into an object, you must open the start stage of the specific action in Object Studio and define inputs, parameters. Then, in Process Studio, when you use an action stage to call that object, those inputs will appear in the Inputs tab, allowing you to map process-level data items or expressions to the object's parameters. What is the Preserve checkbox used for in an exception stage? Option A. To save the current data items to a file. Option B. To keep the original exception details when rethrowing an exception from a recovery block. Option C. To prevent the process from stopping. Option D. To archive the screenshot of the error. The correct answer is B. The Preserve Type and Detail of Current Exception checkbox is used when you are inside a recovery block and want to rethrow the original error that triggered the recovery. If you don't check this, you must define a new exception type and message. Checking Preserve ensures that the original error message, e.g., the actual system error, is bubbled up to the parent page, which is vital for accurate logging. Where can you configure credential objects to securely store passwords? Option A. Object Studio. Option B. System Manager Security Credentials. Option C. Process Studio, data items. Option D. Control room, security. The correct answer is B. Blue Prism credentials are managed in the System tab. They allow for the secure storage of sensitive information like usernames and passwords. These are encrypted in the database. Processes access them using the System Security Internal VBO Visual Business Object, which retrieves the credentials at runtime without ever exposing the password in plain text within the process flow. Which action in the Navigate stage is used to close a window? Option A. Exit. Option B. Terminate. Option C. Close. Option D. Press. The correct answer is B. In the Navigate stage. For a typical application model, the terminate action is used to kill the process associated with the application. While some applications might have a close method if spied specifically, terminate is the standard way to ensure the application process is completely shut down from the operating system's perspective. What is a tag in a Blue Prism work queue? Option A. A unique identifier for the item. Option B. A keyword assigned to an item for filtering and grouping. Option C. A priority level for the item. Option D. The name of the robot processing the item. The correct answer is B. Tags are metadata labels that can be added to work queue items using the tag item action. They allow developers and business users to categorize items, e.g., high value, follow-up required, region, EMEA. Tags are extremely useful for filtering items in the control room or when using the Get Next Item action, as you can specifically request items that have, or don't have, certain tags. What is the purpose of the main page in a Blue Prism process? Option A. It is the only page that can interact with Object Studio. Option B. It is the entry point where the process execution begins. Option C. It is used to store all global variables only. Option D. It is used to design the application modeler. The correct answer is B. Every Blue Prism process must have a main page. This is the root of the process, and execution always starts at the start stage of the main page. From here, the flow can be directed to other subpages or actions, while subpages help organize the logic into manageable chunks. The main page acts as the executive controller of the overall workflow. What does the read stage do in Object Studio? Option A. It reads the code of the application. Option B. It extracts data, like text or values, from a spied element and stores it in a data item. Option C. It reads data from an Excel file. Option D. It reads the configuration of the robot. The correct answer is B. The read stage is used to pull information from the user interface of an application. For example, if you need to get the balance from a banking app, you would spy the balance label and use a read stage with the get text or similar action to store that balance into a Blue Prism data item for further processing. What is the recommended approach for handling a system exception in a work queue item? Option A. Mark the item as completed and move on. Option B. Delete the item and re-add it manually. Option C. Mark the item as an exception. Provide a reason, and potentially retry based on a retry limit. Option D. Stop the entire process immediately. The correct answer is C. When a technical failure occurs, like an application crashing, it is considered a system exception. Best practice involves catching this exception, marking the current queue item as an exception with a detailed message, and then cleaning up, closing the app. If the retry limit, usually managed in logic or via the max retries queue setting, hasn't been reached, the robot should attempt the next item or retry the failed one. What is an action stage used for in Process Studio? Option A. To perform a calculation. Option B. To call a specific logic routine. Action. Defined in a business object. Option C. To create a new subpage. Option D. To define a new data item. The correct answer is B. Action stages are the bridges between Process Studio and Object Studio. When a process needs to interact with an application, e.g., login or submit form, it uses an action stage to call the corresponding action that was developed within a business object in Object Studio. Which spying mode is typically the most effective for interacting with a modern web browser? Option A. Win32 mode. Option B. HTML mode, browser automation. Option C. Region mode. Option D. Mainframe mode. The correct answer is B. For web applications, HTML mode, or the newer Chrome, Edge extensions, is the primary choice. It allows Blue Prism to see the underlying HTML DOM, document object model, of the web page. This provides access to stable attributes like id, name, and tag, making the automation much more reliable than using image-based spying or coordinate-based clicks. That concludes our 30-question practice run for the Blue Prism Developer Certification. How many did you get right? Let us know in the comments. If you found this helpful, please give the video a thumbs up and share it with your fellow RPA developers. Check out the link in the description for the full practice exam and premium study materials.